Everyone, it's time for our Faribault Coaches Show. Typically, we are at Basher's, the Faribault Center, but something got crossed up somewhere because I'm actually here at the KDHL studio. I popped out there. I was pretty sure that we had talked about, having the show. They said they were cool with that because, they're going to be open, but they were not open when I was there this morning, so I don't know what to tell you. I did leave a couple of messages and asked them to text me some information that maybe we can pass along during the show here in a little bit. I'm going to get a hold of the BA boys basketball coach, Ed Friesen. I left notes with Bill Bardall, the girls coach for the Faribault Falcons. I don't have Eric Hildebrandt's cell phone number, so I could not get a hold of him. I did contact who else did I contact? Jesse Armbruster, and said, hey, if Michaela's home, it'd be cool to talk about her experiences. She's a senior now at Minnesota State University Mankato, and I think she's their number one pitcher coming up this spring, so that'd be kind of cool to get caught up with her if she's home. As I said, I left Jesse a couple of messages. The second one to let them know that we're going to be here at the studios, and they can just pop down here, and we can visit here. I did want to let you know that last I had heard they were going to have a terrific buffet for New Year's Eve out of Basher's, the Faribault Center, with a good assortment of goodies. Never get a bad meal there. This past week I had, last week on my birthday, I stopped out for the ribs. I had their homemade wild rice soup is phenomenal, and they were nice enough to give me an extra pint of it, which, of course, was eaten this past week. It is so good, so creamy, so delicious. So they have more than just ribs. I know I rave about the ribs, and a lot of people rave about the ribs. That's kind of what they're known for. But their fish fries on Fridays are out of this world good. And I am not exaggerating when I say it's kind of like candy when you eat the items they have on the fish. The fish fry is phenomenal. The batter is exceptionally light. It's so delicious. They have homemade tartar sauce, so that is awesome as well. Their homemade tartar sauce is out of this world good at Basher's, the Faribault Center. So I hope I did this right. It was probably a mistake to try and do this on the air. We're calling Mr. Friesen. Are you there, Ed?
I am here.
Wow, it worked while I was on the air. I knew I was taking a chance doing it this way, but it works. Thanks for being there. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Gordy.
Yeah, well, I know you had Christmas off. The kids had Christmas off. The girls' team also had Christmas off at Bethlehem Academy because, obviously being Bethlehem Academy, you know what the real reason for the season is. Yeah.
I think it's always important to, be able to take a little bit of time off. We, on the boys' side, we've been playing in the Hayfield tournament for, I think, about 8 years. And I just kind of thought last year, where our numbers on the boys' side were so low, we weren't able to, bring a JV team to the tournament last year. And I just thought, looking ahead to this year, that we were going to have numbers problems too. And so, I told Chris Pack, hey, I don't think we can commit to being in the tournament this year. Now, had I known that we were going to have twice as many kids out for basketball this year, I would have made a different decision maybe. But I think it's been good to have the time off too. We practiced 3 days this past week and really focused on shooting and offensive skills and, opportunity to really do those kind of things that you don't necessarily get to work on when you just have one practice, two practice, and you're getting ready for an opponent.
Yep. I talked to more and more coaches that are going that route, deciding not to do a tournament, it typically takes some travel time and all of that, so they get more out of just staying home and working on what they need to work on to get ready for the rest of the season.
Yep, exactly. And I think the kids need a little bit of time off too. And I've got a couple players who have they've gone on family trips here over break, and so that's kind of important too. I think everybody's trying to get back to being able to take some family trips and things like that, things that they put on hold or had to reschedule or whatever, from, due to the pandemic, trying to get things back to normal a little bit.
So how good are the Cardinals right now, do you think? And have you, are you close to peaking yet?
Oh, I hope we're not close to peaking. I hope that's still a nice, steady climb. We're 2-3 right now. We lost a couple of close ball games, so, few buckets here, a few plays there. Maybe we're 4-1 instead of 2-3. So I'm pretty happy about our overall play, our physical effort, our balanced scoring. I think has been pretty good. We still need to work on getting more contributions now as we go here, as far as some of our reserve players and getting them involved in the game and getting some buckets here, getting some rebounds from them, whatever plays they can make, so that we're not a little bit more balanced, I guess. We're looking for that player coming off the bench now to be that spark plug player.
Yeah, well, I saw you against Kenya Wanamingo. That was a great game to broadcast. My, oh my, nobody had a huge lead. There were like 18 lead changes. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a great ball game, and again, that was one of those close games that we ended up being on the short end. And I watched a little bit of the video, and just like the final 2 minutes or whatever, where it was kind of a little bit back and forth, and
yep.
With about a minute to go, Kenyon had a 1-point lead, and we got the ball up the court and had an opportunity for a layup on the left side of the hoop, and put a little too much English on the ball, and I rolled around the rim and out instead of going in. And you look at that play right there. Well, geez, if we would have gotten that bucket in, and had the lead, that might have changed a little bit of how the final minute transpired. And we did get a couple opportunities, in the final 20 seconds. We took down one. We took a 3-point shot that was a shot that Trey Gayton makes more often than not, and didn't get that shot to go in, and put Kenny into the free throw line, and had another opportunity. Trey took a shot from the corner of a defender in his face, and got rim, but just off just a little bit. So great ball game. I think for both teams, good perseverance as far as being down 5 or being down 6 or whatever it is. Put together a little run, get tied up, get maybe a lead yourself. So it was a really good ball game.
Yeah, and the Knights turned out they've had a pretty good season, too, surprisingly a bit. They graduated a lot from a year ago. I think even Coach Brent Lurkin's a little surprised how good they have played here early in the season. They just suffered their second loss here the other day at that Hayfield tournament that you were just talking about.
Yeah. And I agree. I thought, I think we're playing better than what I thought we would be. I just wasn't sure I honestly wasn't sure what we were going to be like from a scoring standpoint going into this year, because, we had Justin Simmons and Matthew Croak and Brad Sarter were, such important scorers for us last year that, how were we going to fill the void as far as what they provided. And, Trey Gayton, Hudson Dillon, Aaron Huerta, Charlie King have all done a great job providing good balanced scoring for us. We're looking to get more points from Zach Donkers. I thought he was going to have a great game there against Kenyon. I think he scored our first bucket, maybe, and scored a couple buckets early in the ball game. And I thought, okay, Zach is feeling it here tonight. And then he didn't get to his opportunities as the game went on from there. But we get good balanced scoring out of those five guys. I think we're going to compete pretty well most nights.
Gopher Conference, what do you think? Pretty up in the air? Hayfield's going to run away with it?
Well, I think on the east side, Hayfield is definitely the favorite, and on the west side, Maple River is definitely the favorite. And then after that, it's hard to say. I think Kenyon's playing really well, I think Triton is always going to be a tough opponent for teams, Randolph is going to give good solid play as far as the other teams on our East Division. So I think it's going to be. I think we're all chasing Hayfield and Maple River. I think it's more a question about who's going to finish second, third, fourth in each division. That will end up being a little bit more interesting. But that's it's a good tough conference, and on any given night anything can happen. We opened the year conference play against Janesville. They're on the west side, we're on the east, and we had a 12-point lead in that ball game, and they were able to whittle it down and secure a win from us back earlier in the month. They do things too that I think gives people fits as far as some of the action that they have on offense. Actually, I've thought about stealing some of the things that they do on offense because I think it gives us trouble, so I think gives other people trouble too.
Yeah. Well, and Janesville had a couple of guys transfer out, right? And they would be a lot better even with those guys.
I know they lost one for sure. Who would have been their probably their point guard and a big scoring threat for them. So yeah, but they I thought played pretty well against us and played pretty well in the other game that I saw them play, and so they're going to be a team to keep on that west side. That's going to be in that middle of that mix. Waterville and New Richland both have new coaches and both graduated a few players, so we'll see where things go for them. New Richland usually has a number of guys that can play.
I saw them against Kenyon Wanamingo. Yeah, Knights beat them.
Yeah. And then, United South Central, they're always going to be a good, physical ball team. Here's, like I said, I think our conference is a really good conference, a really tough conference. You see a variety of play from different teams, from teams that are going to be really physical and pound it out, and teams that are going to press and run. There's a good mix in the conference as far as styles of play, and it's a good conference to get battle tested on.
Yep, that gets you ready for the playoffs, the second season. Well, what's coming up this week? I think, don't you have Randolph coming up?
Yeah, we host Randolph on Friday night, and so we're looking forward to that. I think it'll be, probably be. I'm guessing that it's going to end up being kind of a close ball game, kind of like our games with Kenyon and Hayfield, or not Hayfield, Kenyon and Janesville, and then hopefully hopefully we'll be able to pull that one out. And then on Saturday afternoon, we have a non-conference game at home against West Lutheran.
West Lutheran?
Yep.
Are they out of Bloomington?
Yep, they are out of Minneapolis, Golden Valley kind of area.
Yeah, so, wouldn't make sense to be in Bloomington if you were West Lutheran, Gordy, you roundhead.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
All right, so, Ed. Well, thanks for your time. I know you're busy, and last minute you said, yeah, you'd be willing to help me out here, and I appreciate it very, very much. Happy New Year to you,
no problem.
to
Happy
all
New Year.
All the Bethlehem Academy players and parents and fans. We really enjoy what coverage we're able to provide, and we're looking forward to the new year, 2023.
Yep, thank you, Gordy, and Happy New Year to everybody.
You bet. That's Ed Friesen. He is the head boys basketball coach. He's also the activities director at Bethlehem Academy, and he was nice enough to, give me about, he said, got a few minutes anyway, so we finagled 10 minutes out of him, and we appreciate that very, very much. Did contact a couple of other coaches. I see the postal person is here. I don't know that they'd want to come on the air with me. I did want to touch on something that I saw last night that I wanted to share with you because it was a team from our area. Of course, we cover here at KDHL Radio. Yours truly gets to provide play-by-play for Carleton Knight men's and women's basketball in the winter, and it's one of the reasons why I'm able to survive Minnesota winters. I am not a big fan of winter. As a kid, I think I enjoyed winter. In fact, I know I did. But as I grow older, the cold weather does not agree a lot with me. So the reason I'm able to survive winters here in Minnesota is because of all the games I get to broadcast. It's fun. And last night, I saw two teams that just absolutely can fill the basket from beyond the arc. The Bethany Lutheran Vikings are ranked 5th in the nation in scoring per game in Division III. Going into the game last night, Bethany Lutheran was averaging 96.3 points per game. With a couple minutes left, it looked like they were going to be held into the 80s. But they got a couple of turnovers late after Carleton had built a double-digit lead, and it's a good thing they had built that double-digit lead. They ended up hanging on to win, did Carleton, 99-91. Now, both these teams had one loss on the season. Carleton was 8-1, and Bethany Lutheran was 10-1 on the season coming into the contest. 99-91 was the final score. The Carleton men winning over Bethany Lutheran. Big win against a quality team, Bethany Lutheran. Carleton threw up a school record 43 three-point attempts. They made 18 of the 43. That's 42% roughly from three-point range. They threw up 75 total shots. So most of their shots were from three-point range, right? They only put up 32. They put up 32 two-point basket attempts and 43 three-point basket attempts. And I think they got a little bit into that three-happy mode for a while, but they were knocking them down like nobody's business. And it was it was the main reason they won the game. They had 18 threes compared to 14 for Bethany Lutheran, which is kind of normal for them. They attempted 41 three-pointers. Free throw line, another difference maker. 13 of 16 was Carleton, and 9 of 12 was Bethany Lutheran. But boy, oh boy, was it fun to call. And I would highly recommend, if you have some time, get on over and watch some MIAC conference basketball. I know they don't charge at the Carleton games. Not sure about St. Olaf, but, you got that not far from Faribault here in the region. Take advantage of it. It's fun to watch. I know some people, glorified high school. No, it's not. These guys are all guys that were the best guys on their high school basketball teams or among the best. It is fun basketball. And typically in the MIC, defense is played. Now, they did play some defense last night. It was just a matter of both teams being able to score at an incredible rate. The final shooting percentages were 45% for Bethany Lutheran and 45% for Carleton. I mean, it was close. Points in the paint, the Vikings had 34 and the Knights had 30. Points off turnovers, another key factor, Carleton 18, Bethany Lutheran 11, even though Carleton had 13 turnovers and Bethany Lutheran had 10. Both teams had 17 assists, so they share the ball well. It's just fun to watch teams that can move the basketball, find the open shooter, which is what both these teams were able to do. The biggest lead in the game was by Bethany Lutheran, 8 points for them. For Carleton, they are up by 14 with 8:37 to go in the game. And if you look at the time with the lead, which is, frankly, my least favorite statistic, but they do have it on here, Carleton led the game 18 minutes and 51 seconds, and Bethany Lutheran led 18:46. They led nearly every ticky-tack of the first half, had a 46-44 lead at the half, and are outscored 55-45 in the second half. 99-91 was the final score. I just wanted to share that with you because it was so much fun. And don't dismiss listening either. We're going to have our next broadcast on Saturday. Next Saturday, doubleheader as the Carleton Knights travel to Gustavus Adolphus College in St. Peter, Minnesota. And we will have that game for you. Gustavus Adolphus College in St. Peter. It's a ladies-gentlemen doubleheader. Remember, this year the men are the first game, the women are the second game. So we'll get underway about 12:45 next Saturday with Carleton Knight basketball. The men followed by the women. That'll be coming your way. Men followed by the women. And in between, coming up this week, they have a game against the Concordia Cobbers. I think that's a doubleheader too. Men will start at 5:15, followed by the women. That is not on the radio, but will be on the Carleton College website. They come back to class on Wednesday at Carleton. And then they got a home game on the 11th and a home game on the 14th before they hit the road to St. John's on the 16th and travel to Hamlin on the 18th and have a rematch of that incredible game they had at home. If you recall, they scored in the final seconds. They were far behind. I mean, we're talking multiple possessions behind with under a minute to go, and they ended up winning the game. It was just incredible. As I look ahead, I see that the Carleton men are on the road for their final 3 games of the season. In fact, the final 2 games, they have their longest road trips of the year. On the 15th, the men and the women travel to Concordia in Moorhead, and on the 18th, the men and women are tangling with the College of St. Scholastica in Duluth, so I'll be putting on some miles there. And the playoffs are the 21st, the 23rd, the MIC Championship, the 5th. This could really be a special year for Carleton. Obviously, injuries play a part in that. You don't want anybody to get hurt. So just hope you folks will stop on up and watch some games because they are really fun to watch. 99-91 was the final. Incredible. I was going to bring up the schedule here for the Faribault Falcons coming up because I forgot to bring my little pocket schedule thing that I grabbed the other day. So lo and behold, I don't know if it's saved on the control room computer here, so bear with me while I might as well just type it in here, right? Faribault Falcons schedule, Faribault Falcons. Well, there's the Faribault forecast. That's not what I want. See if I get the Falcons typed up, if it helps. There we go. Let's see if I can. Well, that didn't work either. Let's try this. We're in the video zone now. The video zone. It says no upcoming events on the schedule. Really? On their website. No upcoming events. They announced that the MSHSL XL Award winner is Haley Reavers. Yep, Haley Reavers. The XL Award, Excellence in Community, Education, Leadership, a recognition program designed exclusively for juniors who are active in activities, they're school leaders, and they demonstrate a commitment to community service. So congratulate to Haley Reavers. Delightful young lady. Plays on the girls' basketball team. Haley does a great job for the Faribault Falcons. They were involved in a tournament over in Marshall. I think they seemed to... Here we go. Winter sports. Let's look at the schedule here. Boys basketball schedule. Oh, boy. Is that tiny print. So we'll zoom in, and doesn't bring it up when I want to bring it up. Let's see. Coming up this week on January the 3rd, that is Tuesday, right? Tuesday, the boys basketball team will be at Mankato East. That's the only game on Tuesday. Boys at Mankato East, a 7:30 tip-off on Tuesday. Thursday, boys basketball plays Red Wing here at home at Nolan Gym on Thursday. On Tuesday of next week, the Owatonna Huskies are the opponent for the boys. Well, now that I look at it, I just have the boys on here. See if I can change this to all schools. All sports. And it's probably not going to get done before we go off the air here, because there's no easy way to pop to the activities page and get all the sports. You got to go, here we go, Big 9 calendar. That's what I want. Let's see. I think I gave you what happened on Tuesday, or is happening. The boys hockey team plays Tuesday, drop of the puck at 6, Rochester Lured out at the Faribault Ice Arena. Nothing on Wednesday, which is typical. Thursday, we told you about the boys basketball team. Girls will play Red Wing over at Sanju Gym beginning at 7:30. And on Friday of next week, it looks like they're off. All the teams are off on Friday of next week. So next week, hopefully things get back to normal. We get back to Bashers. Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. 2023 hopefully will go much better than today did. For yours truly.
For everything your business needs to make this year your year, Staples has you covered.
I need to organize all my papers and files from last year and the year before that.
Staples has you covered.
I need a new desk calendar so that I don't miss a meeting with my boss or a soccer game with my daughter.
Staples has you covered with everything you need to get organized this year. Right now, a 2023 lined desk calendar is $3.99 and an unlined calendar is just $4.99. Make this year your year at Staples. Offer ends 12/31. In store only.
The Southern Minnesota